Welcome to the wholeness principle. I don't know how much longer I'm going to have to call it that because I'm done with the mess. The inspiration for my title comes from a book. It's called The Wholeness Principle, but in the title on the cover, they broke up the word wholeness so that whole is on top and ness is on the bottom. And I don't know if I originally confused it, like I read it as the whole mess, or if I just saw that in it. I've been plagued by paradise, and this is a major thing just in human beings. We have images and feelings, and paradise is in us. Somewhere in the translation of it through our senses and our minds, it gets lost. And what results out here is a mess. Beyond that, violence and control. And I don't know how we even get to terror. I don't think I've ever fully understood horror as a genre. Nevertheless, it is a thing to be reckoned with here. And what it comes down to, I think, is shame and guilt. When we are tortured by our conscience, and some people accept the most degraded state of being and try to spread it. I guess that would be the definition of a demon, is one who has so completely taken on the identity of shame. We don't need to call it, definitely not dark. I'm really trying to get rid of equating evil with darkness, because elementally darkness is fertility. It is soil. It is cool and protective. And I actually drew a card today for the Taurus Sun. I just asked for the first card associated with Taurus, and I just got all the earth elements. Earth is darkness. The mother, the feminine, yin. So it does not make sense to equate darkness with evil, except considering the major split, the enmity sown between man and woman. So patriarchy has considered woman evil. All that tempts man is evil. The temptation within the man has not been as regarded as evil as what tempts from outside. We are plenty over that in plenty of ways. We don't need to go back there. That's the sum of that error, is pointing the finger outside when the one who can be tempted is the person. Anyway, so evil, actual evil, comes from one who has so accepted the shame, not transformed it, not rejected it. Like when someone outside of you tries to shame you, it is your job to note the reflection, okay? Because the outside world can be a mirror. It is not always. That was very confusing to me, the spiritual notion that the whole world is a mirror, because it very much is in crazy ways. Like God is incredibly personal, but we are kind of on a journey of expansion, which means more separation, which means not everything outside of you is going to be a mirror of you. We are not as tightly knit to our family and culture as we used to be. So there is more choice, there's more freedom, and we just can't be thinking that everything that appears in our environment is a mirror of us. Like, I stayed in states of shame and guilt for way longer than I had to, because I was going really deep into that little, just the exploration of that idea or that notion or even reality that the world is mirroring back to me what I am. So to what degree am I this or that evil? You know. Anyway, no. You are what you choose to be. We are reaching new levels of autonomy. That is incredibly challenging. That is why it is so difficult, because we don't have the guidance, not in human form. We are used to looking up to other humans, but the guidance is spiritual now. And that's, I'm getting to this Taurus Aquarius square that we're doing. The Aquarian is the future, and it is the light reaching down to guide us currently. It is actually right now the quarter moon between Taurus Sun and Aquarius moon, coming off of this Scorpio full moon. This is a wild month. And by wild, I mean, it's like the whole cosmos is contained in this month. It is perfect. It begins and ends with full moons. Every lunation occurs, it's like the Scorpio full moon occurred on a Friday, and then these next two lunations are both on Saturday, and then the last one's on a Sunday. It's like all in the weekend. It's just, I want to frame my calendar for this month because it is perfect order. But we cannot forget how perfection fades into imperfection. In the span of a week, cracks start to show. I started out thinking about relationships between the masculine and the feminine this morning. And there's something, I'm just going to say it real quick and I'll go from there. No one can afford to be submissive if they do not possess serpent wisdom. We have to be wise as serpents before we can be innocent as doves. Period. So this divine feminine rising, the wisdom of the dark, is here to make sure that we possess the wisdom to actually be as innocent as we wish to be. Well, as we wish to be. But right now, we're still dealing with just wishing to be perceived as certain things. And in order to become as wise as the serpent, you have to let go of being seen as innocent. Because we are not. Children are not innocent, okay? We get off on the wrong foot straight away, thinking that children just are innocent. Don't have to observe them very long to see that the demon seeds are there. And I guess I just have no shame or guilt over whatever it means to constantly be birthing stars and the opposite within you. You have to become so familiar with your potential for evil that you can stomp it out as soon as it appears in you. Otherwise, you're going to do bad things and think bad things and feel bad things, all the while thinking you are innocent. Because You've got an ego attachment to your goodness. The masculine has a journey. The red knight, the white knight, and then the black knight. You've got the red knight, which is all the danger that men present towards women. That's dealt with in the red knight stage. And then he becomes the white knight, the one who stewards and serves and protects. But then the black knight has fully integrated his red and his white. The black knight no longer needs the rules and the governing body, the structure. He just has the codes within him to do right. He knows his potential for evil. He's not blissfully unaware of it. He's not suffering any cognitive dissonance. The woman starts with the maiden, the white, and then goes into red. Like, I'm in my red right now. So I am like the hormonal surge where women become a threat to men is in the middle of life, because women are doing everything to protect and nurture the young. Like, not having children myself, I am still like in that phase of, okay, whatever, towards men. It's all about protecting the future, children, innocence for me right now, because I'm in the red. And then the black beyond that is the fusion of both. Anyway, the current square of the moon. This is the future. The moon, Aquarius, an airplane. Let me read you these keywords. Travel, long distance, speed, overcome, rise up, freedom, no boundaries, breaking free, in control, things work out, taking off, leave it behind, internal guidance systems. It would seem that there is a contradiction between no boundaries and freedom and in controlness. But that's exactly what I'm talking about. By the time you get to the black, you understand the pitfalls of freedom and the boundaries that you are working with, so that you are safe to break free of those boundaries and still be in control. That's the moon energy. The sun energy is Taurus. And again, I pulled this card for all the earth signs. Taurus is the first earth sign. And let me read you the keywords on this card. Person of earth, the provider and caregiver. Grounded, secure, stubborn, nurturing, classy, stable, prosperous, materialistic, possessive, dependable. A manager, a business owner, banking, a CEO. This is the ground underneath the airplane, which allows it to take off. These energies are not at odds with one another just because they are squared to one another. They need one another. We also recently just had a Mercury and Pluto square in Taurus and Aquarius. I'll just do a close-up of these cards because they are so what has been in my mind regarding these two energies. There's another interesting gender kind of a mix-up here. We're used to thinking of, like, when you think of a person of earth, you probably think of all that patriarchy stuff and men. And when you think of maybe all the energies listed here about airplane, you might think of something more feminine, lighter, freer. But I think this comes from just being in those first stages. So the feminine being considered white and maiden, pure, like some ideal creepy Lolita, never grow up feminine. That is still held in the human psyche as an ideal. And it's destroying women and men. It's destroying everybody. Yeah, and then the man is this patriarch, which is just exploiting that feminine, just stuck in the red. That's completely backwards because Earth is feminine. Literally in astrology, all Earth signs are feminine signs, and the water signs as well. And then air and Aquarius, that's a masculine sign. It's the masculine that is lighter and freer because he is in control. It is the masculine in us which accepts and learns the boundaries in order to become free of them. So maybe just collectively, we are getting out of this stage of youth, of the red knight and the white maiden being at odds with one another. And we've been in this blurry stage in between where women are the threat to men. Women in their red stage are a threat to men that are still in their red stage, because the women are going to be like, what the fuck? Time to grow up, dude. And that's, I think, just a natural signal for men to get out of red, is when the feminine force in their lives becomes overwhelming. I mean, these stages are not to be seen as totally linear. There are seeds of the white knight in the red knight the entire time, but being in the red means working with impulses, desire, and ignorance, confronting ignorance. It is a wrestling period. And that never has to be equated with bad. We're just coming out of seeing anything as bad or good. Even the worst of demons, voluntary demonhood, is beneficial in the end as poster boys and girls of exactly what not to be. An inverse mirror and a warning of what can happen. How quickly injustice can take over. Injustice and imbalance. I think that's enough. What a month.